My name is Garrett Mitchell, and I guess I've been a powertrain athlete for like 13 years now. I came down to the Hershey area. For me, I was brought down to play hockey with the Bears, and my first year down in Hershey was 2009-10, I guess. And so for us, the Bears, we were affiliated working out. We didn't have a trainer at the rink, so we just for us was working out a powertrain. So that's kind of how it started. We used to drive out to Mannheim before the powertrain in Palmyra was there, and then obviously when the Palmyra one got opened up, it was a lot closer for us to drive out than drive. My parents both played. My sister played. I guess I almost didn't really have a choice. But yeah, I started playing at like 5 years old, skating at like 3, and so for us it was just, I guess, a family thing. My sister played college hockey back in Regina, Saskatchewan, and so yeah, I've been pretty fortunate now to be playing professional hockey for 12 years. Everybody at the professional level is obviously a very good athlete and very good at the sport. And I think nowadays it's just about gaining that little bit of an edge, whether that's speed, quickness, or strength, and it's separating yourself just that little bit in maybe that 1% or maybe even a 0.5%. I know for myself, as I've gotten older, the change in the way that I work out is, I've been able to kind of watch that happen. For me, it's more about maintaining strength, not necessarily putting a bunch of muscle on. So it's been great. Powertrain has really helped me do that. Anytime you're a kid growing up, whether it's like baseball or hockey or soccer or anything, the goal is to play professionally. I'd be lying to you if I ever thought it was really going to happen. I always told myself I was, going to play in the NHL and I was going to do it and play professional hockey for a living. And, now sitting here 12 years into my career, it's pretty amazing. It's gone by fast, but at the same time, I'll never forget my first NHL game playing with Washington. And, I've only got one, but that was something that no one can ever take away from me. It was a pretty special thing. My family, both my daughters, my wife, my parents, her mom, everybody was able to be there to watch it, so it was a pretty special thing. My wife and I have both kind of found a love for powertrain, and myself being an athlete, training obviously a little bit different than her, but at the same time she's been in love with it as well. I think for her this is maybe year 5 coming in. Her results have been awesome. We flip-flop, so I come in at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then she comes in at 9:30. So and that's only just so the kids don't have to stay at home by themselves. So it's been great. For us, it's been a kind of a family affair at Powertrain, and we've loved every minute of it. For me, it was something that was different right away. And I started obviously quite a few years ago, and something that Steve had really started with us early was like the eccentric training. So like kind of heavy and slow, time under tension, and that was something that I guess, I think you're starting to see training evolve, and everybody's kind of trying to be pushed to the limits of like how far can you go, creating new stuff and all that. And I'll never forget one of the first days that I started working on Powertrain. Steve just absolutely crushed us, and I thought he put 135 pounds on the bench, and at that time had just gone through the NHL Combine. I was probably the strongest I've ever been. And I'm like, Steve, I can bench 135. And he's like, okay. And by the end of it, I couldn't do one. Like, I was absolutely tapped. So I think for me, it was a different way of training. Obviously you've done a lot of those movements throughout your career training, and, back home for me in Saskatchewan. And I had unbelievable trainers there back home. But it's just, for me, it was one of the first times I've ever seen that style of training, and for me, I kind of fell in love with it, and I guess it's worked for me the past couple of years, so I'm going to stick with it.